quite a collection of scythe blades, including quite a few old English vintage scythes. These differ from the Austrian scythes here in that the edges need regrinding. I've got a couple of examples here. That is a 65cm crown blade, which means it's a solid forged blade made by Isaac Nash. The other type of English blade is this type here, which you can see has a riveted back. That's made by Tyzac. Both have a very hard steel, which is why they need grinding as opposed to peening. This is a blade that I acquired fairly recently and I was quite keen to restore and to actually put to use. This is a 90cm Nash Waldron type blade. Again, a crown blade, so it's forged out of a composite of steel. It was very rusty when it came to me and needed restoring, and in particular needed the edge bevel grinding. I needed to acquire and restore a grindstone, and then I decided I wanted to be able to power the grindstone, and I thought the best way to do that so I could be independent of electric supply in the field would be to restore a 50-year-old 1970 Brixton Stratton engine sat on a rototiller that had sitting redundant in a polytunnel. But that needed restoring as well, so from having a single restoration project in mind, I ended up with a triple restoration project of a blade, a grindstone and a power source. So my initial aim is to restore and regrind this blade. Was first to derust it, which I did with the electrolysis process, which I've covered in another video. Having done that, I discovered that the edge, particularly at the heel end, was quite corroded. I had to cut back the edge quite significantly, particularly at the heel edge, and you can see the section of metal that I cut away and the corrosion that was on the edge. So I scribed a line along the edge which I could then cut to, and what I wanted to have was a slightly involute curve which came into a tighter radius towards the heel by a small degree. The blade itself originally was probably in circle or close to, but I wanted a slight involute on it. That will mean that I will need to reset the Tang at some point before I set it on a Snath. Having got the grindstone home, I dismantled the main components, removed the stone from the tank. I then could get at the rust and clean it up either by wire brushing, or the smaller parts I was able to do by electrolysis as I do the blades. There's quite a bit of historic grindstone sand and debris trapped in the trough, which is quite interesting because it represented years of use. I repainted the hole. Unfortunately, this meant painting over the lot number, which relates to when the grindstone was acquired by its previous owner in 1948 at a farm sale. The grindstone from years of use was slightly out of shape, slightly oval rather than circular, and had a slight depression in the centre, I'm guessing from sharpening axe heads. The stone needed refacing and truing before it was suitable for use on the scythes, and before I could do this I really wanted to get my engine going. The grindstone from years of use was slightly out of shape, slightly oval rather than circular, and had a slight depression in the centre, I'm guessing from sharpening axe heads. The stone needed refacing and truing before it was suitable for use on the sides.